What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today I'm going to do a review of Addams Family 2. Just hit theaters, and I checked it out. For some context, I really love those original two Addams Family films. The Addams Family Values I'm talking about with Raul Julia, okay, with Angelica Houston, with Christina Ricci. Those are a couple of my favorite movies of all time. I'm talking in my top 25, at least top 50 movies of all time. Absolutely love those two movies, and I rewatched them so much, and they're great. Then there was a movie called Addams Family Reunion, which I remember not being good. And then there was, in 2019, this new kind of franchise reboot, whatever you want to call it, a little bit of an animated type style with the Addams Family in 2019. And I heard really terrible things about it. I thought it was going to suck. And to be honest, of course, it wasn't nearly as good as those two original films. And by the way, the TV series, I understand it all started there. I was never a big fan, never really watched it. It was before my time. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but it was the movies that really got me into the Addams Family. But as for the 2019 film, I thought it was not too bad. Not too bad. I had some decent humor. Some of the humor was similar to the movies. You could tell they took a lot from those movies, and there's some good inspiration there. But, you know, the execution was a little bit different. It was definitely more for children. But the storyline I enjoyed most in that 2019 film was most definitely Wednesday Addams. I really enjoy her voice actor does a great job. And she's just fun to follow, and she's just extremely intelligent. You can tell, a very smart little girl, but also very dark. But at the same time, she wants something more. She knows that something's not quite working with her life as it is here with the Addams Family. And yeah, you have a lot of the personalities are close. They're a little different. It takes some getting used to because of the style. You can see Gomez Addams doesn't really look like the Raul Julia Gomez Addams. So it is a different telling. It's a retelling. It's a reimagination. So once you get that through your head, kind of get used to it. It's close enough, and it's still pretty good. It's witty. It's not bad. But at the same time, I thought that original movie, there were too many storylines going on, and of course it was a little more kid friendly, and some of that, for an adult, is not going to be as entertaining. But that was the 2019 version. I thought it was pretty damn good. I should do a full review of that at some point. I'd like to review the entire Addams Family franchise. But then we have the Addams Family 2. One red flag I immediately saw here when I was looking at some of the details of this movie is that there was 4 screenwriters for Addams Family 2, where there was only one for Addams Family 2019. Matt Lieberman, he was not one of the screenwriters for this film, for the sequel. And the poster, as you could see in all the advertisements, it kind of had me worried. I expected it wasn't going to be as good as Addams Family 2019. Not that movie was great. It was not great. Don't get that twisted. You could say it sucked. For a lot of people, it definitely is not going to be good at all. But for me, as an Addams Family fan of the original two, I thought it was at least a different telling, a different story, and similar characters. Similar, yeah, not the same, but similar, especially Wednesday. So I really enjoyed it. And I was just hoping that there would be something of value here, a few laughs, something, and I would say, okay, I like this enough, I could rewatch it again. Was that the case? I left disappointed. I don't feel like this is something I'm going to watch a whole lot. Addams Family 2 I didn't think was as good as Addams Family 2019, and a far cry from the original two Addams Family movies. You shouldn't compare it to them too much. Again, this is more for kids. It's not PG-13. It's obvious, you can see it's animated. So I don't mean to compare it to those two movies too much, but it's just kind of inevitable. You have the same exact characters, and they do kind of go for this similar type of humor. This film with a road trip type movie where, you're going from city to city, and there isn't as much interactions as I hope there would be with the civilians, as I'll call them. I mean, obviously the Addams Family are technically civilians, but they're their own thing. So there's not as much interactions as I was hoping, and the overall story is just kind of weird, where you have Wednesday Addams and somebody claiming that Wednesday Addams was separated at birth and that she's not really an Addams. At the same time, something weird is going on with Uncle Fester, and he's like turning into a giant squid or something of that nature. He's growing tentacles, but everyone kind of acts like it's normal. Nobody says anything. Nobody says what's going on with a couple of times, like something different about Uncle Fester. Like, come on, Addams Family are not supposed to be stupid. Like, they can see, like, what's going on with Uncle Fester? He's growing tentacles. And that storyline was just really odd. You knew that at the end it was going to was going to mean something, that was going to come back to mean something. Like, why are they having this happen? Obviously, it was because at the beginning there was an experiment done by Wednesday with Uncle Fester, and that's kind of what's causing him to grow tentacles and turn into some kind of, monstrous sea creature. But that being said, I didn't really know how it was going to connect at the end. It did connect, and I thought that was pretty stupid. It just went so crazy. This movie at the end went so nuts, so outside of anything we've ever seen in an Addams Family movie. It was just a little over the top for me. And as far as the adventure with the family, I mean, yeah, they saw that the parents felt that their kid kind of growing apart from the kids, especially Gomez. So, they all pack into their creepy camper and they're going to go for, a cross-country trip. And that sounds like it could be pretty fun and entertaining, but it just seemed kind of boring for the most part. There wasn't a whole lot of jokes that landed. Same old stuff. Unhappy to see you. It's even on the poster. The little things like that. They weren't as good. There were some in 2019 movie that were pretty good. Those little lines where they say something that, I'll give you an example from the original film.
You are too precious for words. Why, I could just eat you alive.
Oh, no, Margaret. Too young.
And those little lines and things like that were just, gold in the original two movies. In 2019, there was a few good ones. Here's an example of one I remember from the 2019 Addams Family that I thought was pretty funny.
Wednesday, don't move.
What in the name of all that is unholy is that? It tastes like cotton candy.
How do you know what cotton candy tastes like?
Tish, it was my youth. I made mistakes.
This one, they weren't as good. And even sometimes Wednesday Addams, who we know is always wanting to kill her brother, that's just part of the story. She's always trying to kill her brother. She's really going to actually do it, but she wants him to die. She doesn't like him, blah, blah, blah. That's just part of the dark, humor, the black comedy of this movie, of this franchise. But there's even a scene here where he survives something. He gets into trouble there, they're all doing their escapades, and he survives. And she asks, "Is Pugsley okay?" And they're all like, "Oh yeah, he'll be fine." And she's like, "That's unfortunate. Maybe next time." And that's fine. That's funny. That's it's part of her character. And then Pugsley's like, "Wait, what?" And this was at the end of the movie, and it was like, he shouldn't react like that. This has been known. This is what happens all the time. He doesn't act like it's an extra little thing to the audience, like, so we know that there was a joke there. Like, we understand that. Like, well, this is, this is the second movie here. We know that she says things like that with Pugsley. She wants this dude dead, but doesn't really. Although maybe she does, I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's part of it, and it's his reaction to that when he's like, "Wait, what?" It's just off. Like, they don't really understand. I didn't think they really understood the Addams Family that well in the 2019 version, but there was enough there, especially Wednesday Addams. And again, I will say about this movie, Wednesday Addams does have a lot of screen time. She's like, the story does kind of revolve around her, which is awesome. If you told me that, I'm gonna feel pretty good about it, because she is definitely the best character to me, and that's what kind of saves the movie, is just following her along and seeing the same things that she has to say, which are funny. She says some very, very funny things, especially towards the end. There's a couple of laugh out loud moments. There's some good lines. I don't want to give them away in case you want to check it out, but yeah, there's some funny moments, and at least 2 or 3 laugh out loud moments, mostly toward the end, at least for me. The first hour was just, I don't think I laughed at all. I was just like, what is going on here? And it was just more for kids. Definitely 2019 was for kids, but I think some adults could enjoy it, especially if you're a fan of the original Addams Family. Just temper your expectations. But as for this one, I think even for fans of the Addams Family, for the original 2 movies, unless you really loved that 2019 version, if you really loved it, you might find some enjoyment here. But if you just thought it was okay, like me, you're like, okay, it was pretty good. It was passable. It was decent. There were some laughs. This one, I feel, is a big letdown, a big drop from 2019, and even a bigger drop, of course, from the original, the great Addams Family movies of the 90s. So that's just my thoughts. If you guys checked it out, let me know what you think. So I would say that unless you're just a big fan of that 2019 version, that 2019 animated version, probably want to just go ahead and mainly avoid this one unless you can get it cheap somewhere. I would say, though, if you got absolutely nothing else to do, you're bored as hell, check it out. Who knows? Maybe you'll find, and you love the Addams Family. If you love the Addams Family and you didn't mind the 2019 one, I would say definitely see it if you're bored. Otherwise, you might just want to just avoid this one, because it seems more for kids, and I don't even know if kids will love it that much. Yeah, I'm not a kid, so I wouldn't know. But my theater was pretty quiet. There were some kids there. There was actually barely anyone there, but there was a couple kids, and They only laughed a couple times, and they laughed at actually stuff that was funny, which I laughed at too. So there you have it. You guys have a great day. Thank you for checking out this video, and I would like to review the entire Addams Family franchise soon. So look forward to that. It is October here, so a lot of horror films are coming out. Look for the Halloween movie review series, which I'm working on. You guys have a fantastic day. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Talk to you next time.